Investors and traders, welcome to the channel Market Chat Pattern. Today is 23rd of December 2023 and I hope everyone is having a great weekend. I would like to wish a Merry Christmas to all the subscribers and everyone who celebrates Christmas, and I wish everyone happy holidays as well. I wanted to do a video more about the education side of things and why we like to look at the one-to-one price projection, which we like to call ABCD, and why I believe that ABCD, this one-to-one price projection, is actually a cycle, and also want to know when there are bigger cycles which might be in play, and this one-to-one price projection ABCD could be extending depending upon the direction, either to the upside or to the downside. So for this purpose, prepared a chart of Bank of America. This is a longer term weekly chart, so we'll be taking a look at this. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and it is not a financial advice. You have to do your own work. I'm not responsible for any financial decisions you make. So with this disclaimer out of the way, let's take a look at this chart of Bank of America. And this is a weekly chart, and what we are looking at in ABCD printed in different colors is basically one-to-one price projections. These could also be looked at as some cycles which are taking place in this stock. So we go back several years. So in fact, we go back to the year 2009 when the stock made a bottom, and the overall stock market also made a bottom after the great financial crisis. So that's kind of our starting point, and we have highlighted this in this brown with the big letter A here, which is actually this low. So I've actually drawn these lines. They're not starting from here, just for the ease of drawing and to make things more clear. So this is actually the low, and it coincides with the low around here in early 2009, and I have labeled it as A. And then what we can also see is that there's a very nice trend line in dotted blue here, which is connecting all these points whenever the stock had a correction, and it has been rising nicely. And what we have also seen is that the stock actually topped recently, well, by recently about a year ago, almost 2 years ago now, on the 10th of January 2022, and with the Federal Reserve going into a cycle of raising the interest rates to combat the inflation, the rising inflation, the stock went into a quite a prolonged correction. And if you have been following our videos, which I've done on the financial stocks we were covering, I haven't done a video recently, but I will be doing it over the weekend. We were looking for certain key levels for this stock, which also cover on the daily chart. They are more for the daily chart levels. And now the stock reached this key level of about 2480, and we are at critical moments at the moment. So what I want to actually quickly draw your attention to is this cycle of why we see these repeated one-to-one price projection ABCD. So let's start. So if we have to start from a key point. So if we start from a key point in the recent history of the stock, then we can go and look at this low, which is the March. This is the COVID low, when because of the coronavirus, the markets were in a lot of stress, and the Federal Reserve came out with their assistance. So that's a key low. Then we have another key low at around February of 2016. That's when this market, which went in 2015, had dramatic moves to the downside, and this is where a new bull market began. And then of course we have another one, which is around the 12th of December, which is actually an internal low the market made, and this is the low coming in from the great financial crisis of 2008 and 9. If we just take this high to this high, and we project it from this point C, we get to a level which is around here. And that was very close to the actual top that was made here. Now, Before that, we have another ABCD cycle as well, which is drawn here in this red line, ABCD. So when we are looking at, of course, this is now being done in retrospective, so things seem to be a little bit easier than when we are doing things in real time, but we have actually done things in real time and actually called some really key levels as well, which the market has respected. But to make sense of what the stock might be doing from a cyclical perspective, this is the kind of testing we'll have to do and find the cycles. So here, this is the obvious high around here. This has been a key low here and a key low here. And if we were just to take a swing from this point A to point B high, and we project it from this point, which is labeled as point C in red, we get to a point which is around here, which is the 42.41. And we can see that when the market actually reached that point, there was a correction. In fact, the market went low from the highs of around 43.35 to the lows of about 36.60. But then the market was able to recover and it went higher and formed another pattern formation, which I'll actually talk about in a little while. So when that happened and this high was taking out, what could it mean? It meant that there was another cycle, a longer term cycle, which actually pushed the prices higher. So we have to go and find what that might be. So we'll have to go back and look at some other key highs and lows. So what we do is we go and we identify there is another low right here coming in from the February 2009, and the recent highs that were made were around here, and this was as the point B here, which is the same as this. Actually, I've just drawn it to make it easy to understand. So we take it to point B, then we project it from point C, and we get a price projection of around $51 per share level. And the price didn't quite reach there, but it came very, very close. And look, we are really talking long-term stuff as well. So this is how we find out that where there's a chance that this one-to-one price projection might actually be extending, and it could be because there is likely another bigger cycle in play, which is actually trying to push the price higher. Now, while that was happening, we have some tools available to us which we like to use here at Market Chart Pattern, and those are the Fibonacci expansions. And while that is happening, what we can do is we can try to identify if there are any other patterns here. And if we just take the expansions of these swings, which are the corrective swings, we get to 1.618 here, and for this one 1.272, and this is a 3 drives to a top pattern. And having had this level identified with the longer term ABCD coming in nearby, and also this ABCD one-to-one price projection extending, highlighted in the red lines by 1.272, we were in a zone where we had a confluence level of a number of things coming together, telling us be careful, there might be this might be a key level where the market could potentially have a turn. And then we begin to look closer on daily charts, for example, to get more clues, find more patterns, and of course pay attention to the price action, whether it's going to make some sort of a double top, etc. And if it moves to the downside, whether it's likely to take out key swing points. We'll have to put all this information together to form a longer term view, and this is the kind of things that were happening around here. And now when the market began to move lower, we have our tools available to us. We like to use Fibonacci retracements a lot here at Market Chart Pattern, and here what we identify is that we were looking at 61.8% Fibonacci retracements. We were looking at 78.6% Fibonacci retracements, and of course we were looking at some other pattern formations on the daily chart. So here what the price did is it came right to the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. It also formed a 3 drives to a bottom pattern. So here it was 3 drives to a top pattern, it's 3 drives to a bottom pattern. We had a fantastic relationship Fibonacci expansions come in, 1.272 right here of this swing, 1.272 expansion of this swing right here. We have 78.6% Fibonacci retracement coming in, and also we have this really long-term trend line coming in here. So we have a confluence of number of things coming here which were telling us, okay, pay attention to this level. This could be a pretty significant level or a significant support, in other words. And then of course we have to pay attention to the price at lower time frames, such as the daily time frames, to see whether this support is likely to get respected or not. And what we are now looking at is perhaps it could be a beginning of another price projection, 1-to-1, or maybe you can even like to call it some sort of cycle, as long as this point C is held. And what the price has done so far is that it's been a pretty strong move to the upside. And if we were just to look at if we had such a move previously, and if we just take this move, clone it, and we project it from here, and there we go. So we have another market symmetry here as well. So what is really key is where the price is right at the moment, where it is trading for the last couple of weeks, and last week actually closed around here. It is in a zone which is the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, coming in from all these highs from here to the recent lows right here. And then we also have a 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, a little bit lower, coming in from this swing high to this low around here. So it has formed a zone right here. And then on top of that, we also have this concept of market symmetry here. So we are paying real close attention to this level. What it could mean is that it could be a strong resistance. Now, another key thing that I would like to identify is if you look at this brown dotted line, this is, and let me try to make it a solid line so it's a little bit easier to see. And let me also make this solid line here like this. So it's kind of a 90-degree triangle here. Nonetheless, the market actually broke out of this down trending line, and it has moved into this zone. So what is also possible is that perhaps market find good resistance here. It might pull back right into this level here, where we also have the 20-week moving average. And from a Fibonacci perspective, let's see what sort of ratios we get. Assuming this is the top, and I don't know whether this is the top or not, so it's just an assumption. We are making an assumption here, and we could be looking at about $30.60 as kind of a possible pullback that could happen. And what is key for this market is that if it is able to break out of this key resistance level, breaking the market symmetry here, because the last time the market rallied this much, it got sold off, and whether selling can come in again or not. And if it is in fact able to break out of these this resistance level and also take this low out, in particular this swing high out, then we are potentially looking at this as a possible point C here, which could mean we could have another 1-to-1 price projection higher in this stock. So here, just moving back to the daily chart here, this is how we were tracking it. We had identified in advance this support zone, and for shorter term traders, this would have been a low risk area to try some longs as well. Again, not a financial advice, just based on the zone that we're watching for. And the market has moved out of this channel as well, but it can pull back right into this channel as well. So around $30.60, somewhere in that ballpark figure. Momentum also looks good on the daily chart. So this is one stock, Bank of America, that we are watching with a lot of interest for longer term. So I wanted to do this video to explain that how we look at 1-to-1 price projection, so more for educational side of things, and why an ABCD or 1-to-1 price projection might in fact be a cycle, and when the price actually exceeds one-to-one price projection, in other words, the ABCD, that's the way we like to call it, then there is a chance that actually there might be another longer term bigger cycle which might be actually pushing the price higher, in the case of prices moving higher. And then it becomes a case of actually going and finding what that might be. And I have just illustrated that using Bank of America stock as an analogy, as an example. And I hope you found this video of educational value. And if you did, then please do subscribe to the channel so that when we post new content, you'll be able to actually find out more about how we do the technical analysis here. And if you like the video, then please do hit the like button. That is really greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching the video. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Speak to you guys soon. Have a great weekend.